Hey guys, and thanks for tuning in on the second episode of WaveLength.
In this second episode, we're going to be tackling a pretty controversial topic that is online school versus in-person school. And we've done it long enough to sort of form a good opinion on it. And I think it's going to be interesting for a lot of people that have actually done in-person school firsthand. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, like we do in every single video, we've sort of formed 5 different questions that we're going to be answering throughout the length of the video to give you guys a more structured response. And before we actually get started, I do want to mention something that we started to do. So in our video description, you guys should find timestamps, and we're going to be doing this in our upcoming videos as well, just to provide you guys with a way to skip around and get the most value for your time. So that's something cool we started to do. So without further ado, let's get started. So the 5 main questions we're going to be answering are, first, we're going to go over the pros and cons of online school, then the pros and cons of in-person school, and then which form of schooling we actually do prefer personally. So let's get started. The pros of online school. Bhavana, would you like to get us started?
Yeah, totally. I think one of the main pros I have with online school is I have 24/7 access with my material. Like I could forget my homework at school and in-person school, and after school closes, I wouldn't be able to go back and get it. But in online school, it's all there in like Google Classroom or wherever your teacher stores your resources, and all I have to do is go click on it, and I can see like all the list of assignments and what I have to complete.
Yeah, I feel like the all-day access to material, not just material, but my assignments is definitely worked wonders for me, because if I miss class because of a dentist appointment or anything like that, I don't have to keep bugging my teacher. I can just go to Google Classroom or like any other classroom software that you guys use, and I can just find my assignments and material, and I can just do it without emailing my teacher a bajillion times or just like bugging her way too much. And that works great both for the teacher and the student.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've covered the pros of online school, let's go over the cons, because in my opinion, there's a ton of them. Bhavna, would you like to get us started as usual?
Yeah, I think one of the main cons that is actually very popular is not being able to meet your friends and like your teachers, getting that interaction. Um, I think for like those kids that are like in their last years of like high school, or they're in their eighth grade, last year middle school, I feel like that teacher student interaction and like their friends, and I feel like that interaction is kind of really important, and it kind of sucks that you don't really get to see them for your last year.
Yeah, personally for me, like peer-to-peer interaction and just like meeting my friends is one of the like most important motivations. Like it's one of those things that makes me interested to actually come to school. And the fact that I haven't been able to do that for over a year is just an extreme drawback when it comes to online school. I definitely have missed it the past few months.
Yeah, adding on to that, you can't really get like that. You can get distracted more, like it could take me like 2 seconds to just open up a new tab and like do something else while
Yeah,
I'm trying to do my homework.
yeah, that's definitely a huge con when it comes to online school, because it's so easy to get distracted because you're on this computer that can do many things. You can either focus on school or watch an extremely interesting YouTube video, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people choose to do that. And personally, I haven't doing that because I try to value my teacher. But again, it's very easy to do that, and I think a lot of people have gotten roped into just watching YouTube or doing anything like that rather than focusing on school.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now that we've covered the cons of online school, I think we need to go on to in-person school and get started with the pros. Bhavna, come on, get us started.
I think one like pro of in-person school, it's not one that's very popular, but I feel like you know how like teachers and like people say like real life examples, you kind of don't really get that if you're not around those like your students, or like the students around you, or like your friends, and you kind of don't get that same like feeling, when you're on online.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I would much prefer to be in person where like my teacher's actually like in front of me and like just like teaching and like writing on the whiteboard. That just makes learning a bit easier for me, because
Mm-hmm.
I can't really focus if it's like a Zoom meeting and she's like screen sharing, because first of all, it's extremely glitchy and I can easily get distracted.
Yeah.
All right. So again, definitely that's a huge pro in in-person school because you actually get to be there and experience that like
Mhm.
unique experience that you get with in-person school. All right. Let's go on to the cons of in-person school. Frankly, I can't really think of much. Can you, Pavana?
I think one con of in-person school would be like you don't really get like you know how in online school you get like I don't know, you can get distracted, but it's not as like if you're not that type of person to like watch YouTube videos or go like online shopping or whatever you would do. If you're not that type of person, online school would be super easy for you. But if you're that type of person that likes to chit chat a lot, when you're sitting in your room by yourself, you don't really have no one to chit chat with. If you're in school, you have like that person sitting next to you in the next desk. They could be like laughing, giggling. You could be talking with them, and I feel like you would have less motivation to finish your work rather than talking with them.
Yeah, I think in both forms of schooling, there's a ton of distractions. But
Mhm.
personally, for me, I don't sort of see the person next to you giggling as much of a distraction because generally in classes I've been in, if I'm working, possibly the person next to me is working. Again, I do admit I've gotten distracted quite a few times, but not as much as online school. The amount of distractions online school is provided. Now, one of the cons personally for me for in-person school is just how hectic it can be sometimes, just like getting to school, getting back, like packing your stuff and not forgetting things. Definitely
Mhm.
it's a hectic experience, but again, at the end of it, it's worth it because you do get that real life experience. All right. Now that we've covered the pros and cons of both forms of schooling, I think we need to get to the main question of this video, which is which form of schooling we prefer. So, would you like to go first, Bhavana?
I think I would personally pick in-person school because I just feel like it's after going with like 1 year of online school, I just really want to get back and like see my teachers, see my classroom. I feel like seeing my classroom makes a big impact on like my surroundings and everything. So I feel like in-person school would be my choice.
Yeah, definitely. Same here. I prefer in-person school because I've done in-person school for like 11 years straight and I've never gotten bored of it. And I've done
Mhm.
online school for a year and I'm already sick of it. Like I'm ready to just go into in-person school. And one more
Yeah.
thing, if I'm doing online school, I always feel like I'm missing out on something and I definitely am. But if I'm doing in-person school, I'm getting that unique, like that great experience that you get of being around with your friends, like seeing your teachers, like seeing your classroom,
Mhm.
just going to school is such a underrated experience in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
so definitely, if I was given a choice, I would do in-person school unless there's like a health hazard like COVID. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think definitely in-person school is far better. Um, but I don't think like this year, even though we're going back in person, we won't be able to experience in-person school as it was
Yeah.
years back just because of the COVID protocols and stuff. But I think it's way better
Mhm.
than online school.
Yeah, totally.
All right, that is it for today's episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in. For more future episodes, make sure you're subscribed and turn on those post notifications to be one of the first people to check out our weekly episodes every Thursday. If you guys have any video ideas, just put them in the comments below, or just put it in our community tab as well. We have that open. But other than that, have a great day and see y'all next week.